Hey guys, let's talk about some of the structure within the Bitbucket pipeline YAML file. So your YAML file is the core of the whole pipeline feature. Now, when it comes to YAML itself, the very first thing that you're actually noticing in here is the image itself. So this is being generated for the very first time that you actually create your starting pipeline. You're presented with the Atlassian's default Docker image. So that's one thing to understand. The other thing to understand that this pipeline keyword right here is mandatory. Without it, this whole script wouldn't work. When it comes to default keyword, this is actually where all of the triggers are actually starting. So if from those triggers we're defining a step or we're defining a stage, it all starts from the default. The next part that we're actually having is the parallel. What this actually means, that basically it's self-explanatory that these steps that are being followed are being executed in the parallel way. So when it comes to step, this is where you're actually defining each step that is being completed within your pipeline. So what actually this is, so to be more specific in here, let me go to one of the commits in here. Let me just see. I don't have a specific one in here. Let me just go through this. So for example, this main branch is where the changes are actually kind of happening, and this is saying echo main branch is updating. So that's one thing. So in order to actually go back to your script, you just click on view configuration, the cog itself, and it actually redirects you back to the script itself. All right, so in these steps in here, when you're actually first defining it within the pipeline, they will be listed in here. Also, we have the definition of a stage, where we can define multiple steps within that stage and group them together into one. So this means that particularly each step requires for you to actually have at least one executable script. So it even doesn't need to have a name. The script itself is enough. And in this particular case, we're using the echo command, which is being used to actually print out some text. So this is like a really simple pipeline that does everything that is regarded to that. So when you actually go into the branches themselves, then the pipeline itself introduces and moves into the executing everything that is related to the branches that you define in here. So right below it, I have defined my main branch, and within my branch, I have defined that I'm having a step that is called the main branch, and it has the script that says main branch is updating. And you can also see that we're indeed in the main branch itself. So I didn't use any additional commands like get checkout or something like that, which is possible to define within the script itself. I just moved on to the next branch itself, where I have defined like step, new feature, echo, and everything else. And after that, You also have the option to add the pull requests themselves. Now, for the pull request, I defined the main repository, the main branch only, not the repository, the main branch. And within this main branch, I didn't define too much stuff. The only thing that you're also going to see when it comes to here and when it says the stage and there is a name of it, there's also the manual triggering here. So when you have the manual trigger, this is what will happen by the default. This is also possible to do in the staging environment because you have different environments that you're defining in here. So you're having like the staging environment and the production, which is being defined with the deployment keyword in here. But with the manual, that means that we need to go into the pipeline itself and we need to actually manually do the deployment by ourselves. But it's really important if we actually break everything down in here, what we need is, yes, the image, the pipelines, the default part, and also the steps are really helpful actually to have. Maybe you can actually do this in one single motion, not to even have the step, which is possible, and only to have the script, where the script is doing basically everything. Name is optional. You don't have to use it, but it's more readable, and yeah, it's something that is going to help your team a lot in order for them to know what's going on. Yeah, so that is basically the structure. And as you can see, within this structure, the indentation is really important. So if you're having some trouble with the indentation itself, and where it says that basically there is an error saying you need to indent things, and you're not familiar how the indentation in the YAML works, you can go to ChatGPT and you just can say, "Hey, fix this indentation for me." It would be even great if with this editor itself you can actually fix that automatically, but this is something that doesn't work, and just like that, it's not being, implemented in it. But in the nutshell, that is the structure, like the skeleton of the whole YAML file structure. And yeah, that's it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. See ya.